Zone marking versus man marking. I think I'm definitely not the first to come across this metaphor for the way to define responsibilities. I think it originates or is connected very much to the idea of incomplete contracts. When you think about a contract, like a job description that tells you what you're supposed to do in order to earn your salary, it is always incomplete. You can't in every detail describe what you expect of a person, how to deal with customers, how to deal with quality problems, and so on. So there is always an area where the person will have to decide how they do this. Now, however, there is a big desire to be precise in making a difference between my responsibility and the responsibility of my neighbors. So that you have, for example, RACI charts, who does what in a certain process. And while I still agree that this is very helpful in principle, as on a rough side, I don't think that you have to go into detail and be super precise in that. On the contrary, you have to think in the other direction. When you think about games like football or basketball, where you have a defense system of zone marking and you have a defense system of man marking, that's to me a very powerful metaphor. Because think about man marking. If I have my person under control and that person cannot become dangerous, cannot do anything with the ball in hand, then I have done my job. However the game does, nobody can tell me I have not done my job. However, when we are zone marking, everybody has their zone, but if 3 guys come into the zone of my neighbors, I go and help out. It's not my zone, yes, but I still go and help out. And that actually puts a lot of pressure on me, because now somebody is walking into my zone. So what do? Do I leave the person alone? Do I leave my neighbor alone and go back and defend my zone? Or do I go on and stay there? So the kind of decisions that are necessary to have that team feeling that everybody is also a little bit responsible for their neighbor's zone puts a higher level of requirement on the maturity of a team. And still I believe that's very helpful when it's about being able, for example, to deal with the unpredictable, to deal with complex issues. We had with a customer once a very heated discussion amongst senior managers where the idea was exactly that. Somebody said, well, we just have to be more precise in delimiting the different responsibilities and then everything will be clear. And others, and I side with these, said, no, even if we do that, we will never get there. So we have to do the contrary. People have to feel more responsibility for the overall result, even if they are not precise about their own contribution. Think about it also from my perspective as a trainer, for example. On paper, I am responsible for delivering relevant content and make sure that people have understood that they know how to apply it. But whether they go out and actually do it against all the difficulties of their day job, and maybe their situation is difficult and calls for other things, and they should insist on doing it, that's not my responsibility. That's the participant's responsibility. However, I believe I do a good job if I feel to a certain extent also responsible and do whatever I can to help these people and to make sure that they create that impact and go that last mile, actually, although I'm not really responsible for it.